Now, there were 2 or 3 persons on that side. We start with a lady who has a microphone already. You have a question for the panel.
Senti, allora la mia domanda è, avete esempi in Europa di persone coinvolte in lavori anche quando c'è un autismo con grave disabilità mentale? Perché noi stiamo tentando di fare questa esperienza a Roma, in Italia, con un gruppo di giovani con grave disabilità cognitiva e autismo. E abbiamo visto, uno, che le risorse che lo Stato investe nelle politiche assistenziali sono maggiori rispetto a quelle di cui avremmo bisogno per inserirli in percorsi professionali protetti, e questo porterebbe comunque anche a un abbattimento dei costi in generale, perché comunque c'è una qualche produzione lavorativa. Volevamo sapere se c'erano esempi di questo tipo in Europa, e anche se si può considerare comunque un lavoro quello in cui il soggetto coinvolto nel processo produttivo non ha piena consapevolezza di essere in un ciclo di produzione.
Okay, who would like to react to this? It's again two different questions. So first of all, you are looking for success stories in other European countries, but success stories mainly dealing with the employment of severely disabled persons and people with severe forms of autism. And the other question, and again, I think, although it is for the same group, it is a different type of question, whether one would consider also work or a job if the worker, him or herself, would not be fully aware that this is work. Now, maybe this is easier than to start with. Anybody who has some experience or an opinion on this second question? What is work? I mean, we know that, of course, the distinction between being in the open labor market, even with some form of support, and being in sheltered or semi-sheltered employment, that is not so difficult. But when does work stop to be work in relation to the awareness of the worker, him or herself? You have asked a difficult question for our panel. Who dares?
I don't know if this is answering your question, but I think one thing you have to think about is the distinction between exploitation and employment in those kinds of cases. Again, there's this balance, because it can tip, and then you can say, are they do they have gainful or meaningful employment, or is this exploitation in a way? That's one thing. And then to me, it's difficult to if it has to be employment, or I think sometimes just meaningful activities, maybe that's where you have to start. And there should be provisions for meaningful activities. And then, again, if there's change or progression, then maybe you can decide whether you should go on to some kind of employment. That's really all I know what to say.
Anybody else?
Well, I would agree, the meaningful activities. And I know in Germany there are fewer farm projects where people with autism and severe disabilities can work in a protected atmosphere, and I think it's a very good thing.
Just to say one thing, I think what is important is the individual needs, that you know what they are. What are their strong sides? What are their weaknesses? And then focus on their strong sides and try to build, be it activities or any kind of form of work.
Yep. Nobody else in the panel wants to add at the moment. I think also in this answer there are already some of the elements to your first question. When can a project in this area for persons with severe disabilities or severe forms of autism be considered successful? Again, I think it would also involve these things like meaningful activities and a possibility to advance to something that is perhaps closer to the labor market. I'm quite sure that there are various projects that can be considered good or meaningful projects, but with the group that you are focusing on, I think it is slightly different from the group that we have been mostly talking about here in this workshop. So it is also for the panel not so easy to go into this particular question. The gentleman behind you, I think, is then the person who is going to. No, you were there. I wasn't sure that you still were keeping your question.
Yes.
Please go ahead, and then the gentleman has the final word.
A very small guy. I am a little employment from a little town in Sweden, but I will say some employment. I am very, very interested to know so much as I can about this person who's coming to me. We have a little company, but it's very, for me, it's very important to know so much I can for this person who is coming, so I not disturb something. Do you understand my bad English? But I will thank you for these 2 days, 3 days I have been here. I have learned a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I think I more or less understood what you were saying, and I think what you were saying is largely shared by most speakers this evening, and also by some of the interventions from the floor. So you are certainly not alone in that position. Now, yes, I think the gentleman over there. Do you have the microphone in the meantime, or you have withdrawn? Okay, well, then this is a surprise for me. Yes, but okay.
No question.
No question.
My English is pessimo.
You can speak Italian.
No, volevo ringraziare come genitore appartenente a Associazione Gruppo Asperger per me, perché noi stiamo lavorando per stimolare, per riuscire a avere diciamo un futuro migliore per i nostri figli, e è stato utilissimo avere questo confronto con voi, perché noi ci sentiamo un po' una sorta di precursori, non so come dire la parola, nel senso che non abbiamo esperienza a cui rifarci sul territorio italiano, per quanto almeno mi consente, io vengo dalla Liguria, e combinazione io ho a che fare con molte famiglie che hanno figli grandi, quindi in età lavorativa da 18-30 anni, con sindrome di Asperger e con diagnosi recentissima. Quindi tutte famiglie con il problema del lavoro, e quindi stiamo cercando disperatamente di portare avanti questa questione qui. Quindi per me è stato veramente importante. Grazie.